Hello anybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. I'm Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the last episode, we finished up the autumn portion of Click Clock Wood, and in today's episode, as we get assaulted by ice cubes, we are going to be tackling the final portion of the final world in wintertime, as soon as we get past these ice cubes that are assaulting us. And ow. I say ow because I got hurt. Anyway, okay, that's enough. We were going to roll into wintertime. And it's very nice. It's very peaceful. As you can see, there's a nice layer of snow on everything, the bear snares are dead, and the Grublin Hoods are wearing winter gear. They're wearing long sleeve coats and they have scarves. Again, the aesthetic changes are very nice touches between the worlds. The leaf platforms up to around the tree have died. The parrots, the birds that have outlined the trees that have harassed us throughout this level, they're dead too. They're all gone. The bear snares are dead. We have the return of Sir Slush from Freezeezy Peak. Winter version of this level very much gives me a feeling of it reminds me a lot of Freezeezy Peak, with the enemies, with just the music, the atmosphere. I really actually like this. It's very pleasant and very peaceful, even if it's also kind of desolate and dead, because nobody's really around anymore for this time of the year, and it kind of just makes sense in its own little way. That being said, don't get cocky. You can still die very easily in this version of the world. You can still fall off the tree, and you can still kind of, you know, drown. Even though the lake has fallen over, there's a little hole here that we can swim down. And you might be wondering, why would you ever want to swim down there? Well, I'm going to do it, and we're going to find out why soon enough.
Yes, that's right. Swim under there. Icy water takes double air.
So the air is like the oily water in Rusty Bucket Bay, and we can swim in it unlike Freezeezy Peak, but it takes away half of our air because it's freezing cold, because ice water kills you very quickly. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be swimming all the way up here into Naughty's house and get our air back, because oh god.
Cool. I don't usually get visitors in winter.
And he's super excited to see us, but we're going to be stealing his honeycomb piece, and that is the 5th honeycomb piece. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing in winter, is even though we'll be getting the last 2 Jiggies, we will also be getting the last 2 honeycomb pieces in the game. This is just kind of going to be, like I said, this is kind of an epilogue season to what most of the action in Click Clock Wood. Now you might be wondering what might be over to the right side of the frozen lake, and the answer is an extra life. Don't go for it. It's not worth it. You'll probably die trying to get it and get back. So we come up here, and it's actually very easy to get stuck there and die. I should know. I've died several times trying to get out, and it's kind of an analogy for if you actually fall in a frozen lake. Don't do it. You'll die. I know, I'm just chock full of good advice as well as entertainment. I also like all the snow that's fallen. It makes it very easy to platform around this level and get where you need to go. By this point, the world has realized you've been through this world so many times, but let's just kind of let you go everywhere. And that's especially emphasized with... Where's Mumbo?
Mumbo's on vacation. You hairy fool. Come back in spring.
That is what I say to that. Of course, we aren't entirely done with Mumbo, but it is kind of funny that he's off on vacation, and he's just kind of left a house sitter in the form of a thing that we just murdered because he gave us lip. Because he called us a hairy fool, I think. Did he call us a hairy fool? My short-term memory is just the crappiest. So we could climb up this tree the normal way, but you may have already seen something else that I would prefer to use. Like I was saying, they kind of let you give you free reign of this world in the wintertime, and the biggest emphasis on that is the flying pad. Now you don't need to kill all the Sir Slushes in this version of the level, or at least in this level, unlike Freezeezy Peak, because, well, they don't give you anything. They're not like the other ones. So that's neat. So we're going to be flying up here, and our first order of business is we're going to try and land here in front of this Sir Slush, because all we need to do is hit this witch switch, which will spawn a Jiggy on top of there, and that is the last Jiggy in the witch's lair. And I say the witch's lair when I should just say Gruntilda's lair, but I digress. We're going to slide down the snow on our butt, and I think a backflip should get us up here. And it's funny because this flight pad, you can see it from the very beginning in springtime, and it's there through all the seasons, but you never figure out that's how you get it, and it kind of teases you through all the seasons, so that's kind of funny. If you check out the beehive, you'll see that the beehive is also dead, and if we fly in there, there is in fact a Mumbo token, and I shouldn't have gotten that because now I have to fall in order to get back up. Oh well. So now that we've gotten flight again, we're going to fly up a little further. There are, of course, 16 notes left in this world, and they're all in this season, so you kind of want to keep your eyes peeled for them. And in that regard, it might... Oh god, no. Ouch. You know, if it's going to be like that, I'm just going to head back up on foot, especially since I'm looking for notes, so that'll be important. And of course, there's this guy just hanging out here, and already we can see these... God dang it. Well, the good news is we can just kind of fly right back up there. Even though that these Sir Slushes, you're really it's kind of a good idea to take these guys out because they will harass you if you plan on flying. Even if you aren't flying around this level, they're a pain in the ass because they have good accuracy and they do not like you and they do not respect you. And got one. Mainly we also want to get this one because he's kind of blocking our path to glory and other things. There we go. And now, with that, we can touch down and hopefully get these notes. Now, like Freeze Easy Peak, the snowy covered things are, of course, slippery. Slightly slippery for Banjo, but if you're on the Talon Trot, then you will have an easier time getting around, for whatever reason. I am not going to be going to those tips of the branches if I don't have to, though, because this is very tricky platforming and very precarious, and it's just not worth it at this point. And you might have heard some sounds up in the distance, but we'll be hearing more of those a little bit later and figuring out what those are. It's an old friend of ours, and you might remember him. He's a friend of mine, and I hope he's a friend of yours. And there's a Grublin Hood just hanging out here. Let's murder him. You can already see the slipping around that's happening, and it makes these jumps a little tricky to make. But I digress. They're not too bad. Now that we've come up here... We've already hit the witch switch down there, and I don't think it's there in other seasons. I don't remember seeing it, because that is actually where you get the Jiggy in summer by climbing the leaves, so they kept that thing around for whatever reason. Now, they boarded up the treehouse for the summertime, or in the wintertime for some reason, and this is actually where we get 4 of our notes on top of this thing. Now, this is a very tricky thing to do, because if you get on top of the house, you will start slipping, and you need to kind of get immediately into the Talon Trot, otherwise you will slip and fall off and probably die, except not probably. If you have less than 4 health, generally as a rule, if you have 4 or less health and you're climbing this tree, be extremely careful, because if you fall, you're probably going to die. And then you'll have to do whatever you were doing again, because it is easy to just kind of fall this tree at a moment's notice, and then it's a pain to get back up, unless you're flying, and that's what you should really be using the flying for in this level, is to get back up to areas that you have already... Ah, frig. You should be using the, what was my thought? The flight to get back up to areas that you've fallen from, and that's where they're most useful. So now that it's wintertime, Nabnut has locked his door, but we're still going to break in because we are just the best. And this triumphant music signals that there is, of course, a stop and swap egg in here in the winter. Only in the winter. And if we check out Nabnut's bed, we see he has a girlfriend. Aw, acorns. And he's dreaming of acorns. That's adorable that he has a girlfriend. Let's just kind of be creepy and stand on them and stare at them. Pink squirrels. Did you know that there are blue squirrels? Interesting bit of trivia. Look them up sometime. I mean, I can't make you look them up sometime, but you know, it's probably an interesting read. So down here, we have 4 more notes, and we've almost gotten all of the notes in the game. I just hope that I can find the last 4, because the last time I played this, I missed 4 notes in this world, and I didn't bother getting them because of a glitch that made it so I couldn't get all the notes in the game anyway, so I decided what's even the point. So this may be my first time getting 900 notes on the Xbox Live Arcade version of the game. So anyway, gonna avoid the friggin' I don't know why that guy makes me angry, but he does. As you can see, they're still throwing snowballs, and with their accuracy, they can knock you off of here very quickly with very little effort. Now, what we want to do is actually a very tricky precision thing where we want to break that, and now we need to fly in there. Now, my main advice for this is kind of make sharp turns, and geez, that's not how you do it. Oh boy. And there we go. That's a really hard thing to get in there. And since we're in this storage area, which we can see is filled with tons of nuts, which would have been great for Nabnut if he knew about it. Or maybe this is what he turned his 6 acorns into in the previous episode, so I guess that could be it. Anyway, since we're up here, as you can see up there, we have the last honeycomb piece in the game. Now, how do I get over there? I'm kind of trying to remember now. I think we need to backflip from this pile of acorns. Yes, we do. And with that, we will get the last extra honeycomb in the game. That'll fill us all the way up and bring us to a grand total of... Wait, did it stop? Did it stop at 8? I thought I already had 8. I already had 8! That's right! I think Banjo-Kazooie actually caps you at 8 health, even if you get all the honeycomb pieces. That is bullcrap! Bullcrap, I say! I did not remember that. Jeez! Anyway, we've come up here, and look what happened to our friend Eerie. He's now a huge eagle. Eerie, mighty eagle at last! Watch me as I fly into the sky! And he's also got a present for us. He also doesn't look very aerodynamic. I have a reward for Bear Friend. Here it comes. And yes, he actually did poop that one out. So, reluctantly, I'm going to pick that up. And Kazooie, don't eat that. That's... oh, God. So now that we've taken care of that, we're almost done with this world. We've gotten all the honeycomb pieces. There's only one more Jiggy left to get, and that is, of course, the Jinjo Jiggy. We've gotten all the notes. There are only two notes left to get, but this is actually kind of tricky to do because you're sliding around at this portion, so you kind of want to get momentum for each of those backflips up. But when you do, you found all 100 notes on this world. Well done! And that might be the last time we hear from Bottles. It's not. But now that we've taken care of that, it is still nice and cheery in here in the wintertime, but there's nothing in here for us to get. So that takes care of that. We just need to find that last Jinjo, and to get that last Jinjo, you have to fly. And not fall like that. Did I take 5 points of health? That's a lot of damage. Anyway, we're going to get ourselves filled up on a little bit of health, and then we are going to fly up there and look for the blue Jinjo. This is actually taking a little longer than I thought winter would, because there's really not that much in winter. There are the 2 honeycomb pieces, there's 2 Jiggies, because there's the Jinjo in here, so there's only 1 Jiggy that's dedicated to this season, and that, of course, is the, which version? That is the Eerie Jiggy, which we just got. The blue Jinjo is, well, that's the last thing we need to get in this world now that we're here, and it is actually, I believe the blue Jinjo is up where you would have gotten the Jiggy in a previous area. No? Where is he? There he is! He is on top of Mumbo's hut, and for some reason I didn't even see him. So we're gonna get him with style and break our necks.
Bear win gamer pick to spruce up gamer profile. Nice.
I don't know why Mumbo's telling us that, but that's what your prize for saving all of the Jinjos in the game, I guess. So that is all, I guess, 45 Jinjos in the entire game, and we saved them all. And that is the last Jiggy for Click Clock Wood, which we have now finished. That's the end of that. That's the end of Click Clock Wood. Whew! 4 episodes. 4 fairly length episodes. This actually took a little bit longer than I thought it would, and I guess that's it's a good idea that I split it up into 1 episode for each world, or at least for each season. So I hope you get some appreciation for how big this world is compared to all the other worlds in the games, which could comfortably be done in 2 episodes each, and then some stuff on the sides and the other sides. But we're not done the episode yet, even though we've finished up the last world in the game and gotten everything that we need to get. We of course have the matter of what will be the last Jiggy in the game, believe it or not, which is in Gruntilda's lair. And it is, in fact, the Witch Switch Jiggy. I am serious, we almost have all the Jiggies in the game. So first we're going to run back to Mumbo to get our transformation. Of course, this is our last time seeing Mumbo. Goodbye, Mumbo, you have been a great friend to us throughout this entire game. You have helped us with many things, but I digress. We are going to be heading out of here now that we've got the bee transformation for one last thing that we need to do with Mumbo's magic. Actually, the bee in Banjo-Tooie not only shoots and has an attack, he shoots his stinger, which I guess bees can do that. They can't actually do that, I don't think. Tell me if there is one that can, though. But anyway, not only can the one in Banjo-Tooie shoot its stinger, it can also fly faster, which is kind of an advantage of that one over this one, so that's kind of funny. So we've gotten everything in Click Clock Wood. It is time for us to head out and get the final Jiggy in the game, which is a little anticlimactic considering you have to get it as the bee, but I guess again that depends on how you get things in this world, or at least in the game. But I'm not going to intentionally save a Jiggy from an earlier world for last so I can get it as Banjo and Kazooie. But this is the final Jiggy of the entire game, and we jump in celebration. Yay! Yay! Yeah! Oh god! And we get beat up, of course, by Big Butt, the bull. But before we end off the episode, even though we've gotten everything in the game now and we are ready to go and face Gruntilda, now that we've gotten everything, Mumbo Magic at week, there's one more thing I want to show off down in Banjo's house. So I'm going to jump in this cauldron, warp back to the start of the lair, head back to Spiral Mountain, and head back to Banjo's house. I will see you there! Boy, has it been a long time since we've been over here. And we're going to be getting back into our house because we just need a break. We're just going to come back home and stare up at this portrait of Bottles that we have in our house for some reason. Actually, interesting note about that picture back there. That's from a canceled world, like Fungi Forest or something. Well, hey, you found my secret moving picture game. Complete this puzzle, and you can win a mystery prize.
It better be good, Soil Brain. Do I get some new moves?
Maybe. Now watch this. So this is a completely optional thing that you find only by looking up at that thing. There's no indication that it's there. And it's just like a little puzzle, and he's like, use the left stick to move Banjo's hand, press A to pick up and put down pieces. X to return them to the side, or right stick to rotate them. So this is, of course, just a fun little mini game where all you gotta do is bash in these pieces of this puzzle, while the pieces, of course, are moving around below. This is a fun little mini game, and it's just kind of here to do whatever. The first one is the easiest because it starts everything out kind of already set out for you. And there are a few levels of this game. I'm not going to be showing them all off in extensive detail, though I will fast forward through them. So that'll be a thing that'll happen. So we're just going to punch these in, and this is done. Boom. Hey, you did it!
It was easy, Beetle Breath. What do we win?
Listen carefully and I'll tell you. Use the tiles on the side of the sandcastle and Treasure Trove Cove to spell the word Bottles bonus 1. So they're all going to kind of be following this formula, and I'm just going to do these quickly. Speed up! Except he's talking to us first. You can also try level 2 of my game if you like. Just look at the picture again.
Speed up time!
Bottles bonus 2. Why not try level speed up? A useful trick for these puzzles when they rotate the pieces is they always kind of face the same way. All the pieces kind of face their notches the same way. Wow, nice going. Try the word Bottles bonus 3 this time. Oh my god, Bottles. And more to do. More of his words. Go on, give level 4 a go. And speed up again. And there we go. Easy, huh? You can now go and see what the word Bottles bonus 4 does. Of course, this is a very easy way to spoil the later words of the worlds of the game for you, and we're actually getting closer to the end. Hey, level 5 is waiting for you! And we come to Mad Monster Mansion! No, wait, no, this is the Tip Top Choir. Well, spoilers for the 6th level, and speed up. I'm impressed. Go and try Bottles bonus 5. So we're nearly done that, and we're almost at the end here. Just one more level left, guys. ... comes with the Gruntilda laugh and everything because it is Mad Monster Mansion. This is actually the level that can glitch you out of getting a perfect note score if Banjo gets the notes in this level. That being said, time for speed up! Whew. Well, I didn't think anyone would do that one. Well done. Here's your last prize. It's Big Bottle's bonus. And that is the last of the Bottle's moving picture puzzles. And he's like, I've got no more games left for you to play now. Except if you look again. Ha! Fooled you. I've got one really special prize left. Let's see you do this one, Featherface.
I'm ready, Goggles!
Here we go! Now this is by far the hardest puzzle in the bunch because you get a reduced time counter and the pieces all kind of look the same because everything's kind of samey looking. So let's do it! "20 seconds left, and again, if you remember how these pieces are normally oriented, this doesn't take too much work. Hey, you must have cheated to do that!
No way, Bug Slurper! Now hand over the special prize!
Oh, very well. Enter the code Wishy-Washy Banjo for some good, clean fun! Now, what could that code mean? What could all of these codes do for us? Well, I'm going to be heading right to Sandcastle Floor, and I will see you there. Now, the thing about these codes is, if you turn off the game, you actually have to play the moving picture again, or the puzzle. You have to play the game again in order to unlock all of these codes again. So that's a little bogus, but I'm going to be showing off all of these. I'm going to be finishing up Bottles Bonus 1, typing it out, and then I'll just kind of flick through all the other ones. Alright, so first we finish this up, and what is our prize? Oh my. Look at you! To change back, just type no bonus. So yeah, Bottles Bonus 1 gives you a giant head. Oh, actually, I think you need to leave and come back to enter a new code. Bottles Bonus 2 reduces Banjo's head size and makes his hands and feet massive. This is actually kind of creepy, and no, that does not power up your fists. It's still a useless attack. Bottles Bonus 3 will, in fact, give you a gigantic Kazooie head. I don't actually know if the hitbox is bigger, but if it is, that just made this move a lot more powerful, and it is pretty hilarious. Bottles Bonus 4 is kind of a weird one. It kind of gives you this weird pencil body with a tiny head. This is very strange, and it gives very weird effects when you're running around, and Kazooie doesn't quite touch the ground, and your roll's a little weird, and it's just kind of a little bit uncomfortable. Bottles Bonus 5 is nothing really that special. It's the same as before, but now you have giant hands and feet in addition to pencil body. And Big Bottles Bonus is just kind of everything becomes huge. Huge hands and feet, huge head, huge Kazooie, everything is big all of the time, everything is massive. Now the last thing to note about these giant transformations is it makes your whole body kind of pulsate, even if you're not in the pause menu. It's kind of really creepy. Now for that last one, that special Wishy-Washy Banjo. What does this super special code do? Well, it's quite a bonus, because...
Hey, that much bad magic was not as good as bear. Don't come falling to Mumbo if can't get through all worlds.
So yeah, this is Wishy-Washy Banjo. You turn into a washing machine. Mumbo actually has a chance to turn you into a washing machine when you're in his hut, but it's a very rare chance, like 1%, and even if it happens, he'll just immediately change you back. But here, you can actually play as the washing machine, and you still have most of your moves intact, but you're a washing machine, and I do think that there are some things that you were simply unable to do. Although I couldn't name off the top of my head what they are, I do know that there are some things that just don't have the same functionality that they did before. Of course, you can still jump, and just as the coup de grace, well, maybe not that's not the right word, but maybe just kind of top this whole thing off, this whole terrible thing off, you can fly. Oh, a flying washing machine. There's nothing to be said for it. There are no words. I don't think you can beat the game like this. I think that you do need to be Banjo-Kazooie for certain things. And, well, that's... what can you even say? In fact, I'm so certain that we can't beat the game like this that I think we should just go and quit game. We should just exit game and just leave it at that. We can't beat Gruntilda. This is just too humiliating. There's nothing that we can do. Oh, well. But what happens if you hit exit game before you rescue Tooty? You get another cutscene, a bonus cutscene.
Banjo's game ends in my tower. Turn it up, I need full power. Yes, your grunty ship. Transformation soon be complete.
Help me, Banjo!
Oh my. Look at Grunty, she's a beauty. I'm much prettier than Tooty.
Oh, you are, mistress. Mumbo! Grunty, nice. Come back to Mumbo's skull, yes?
Oh my. Oh no.
Banjo, your sister wants a word with you. Now!
Game over. So that's a little terrifying, a little scarring, isn't it? Rare had this weird period on the N64 where they actually involved these little game over cutscenes that kind of punish you for quitting the game. Even if you just quit the game, you get a game over cutscene. They did it for Donkey Kong 64 as well, and that was even more terrifying because it implied everybody died. Anyway, we're just going to pretend that whole thing never happened, and we are going to start heading up to the end of the game. So I will just run all the way up Gruntilda's lair and pretend like we never turned into a washing machine and none of that ever happened.
I'm still here, I watch you play, but I can't think of much to say.
Well, that's probably the last time we're going to be here. Well, not the last time. We're probably going to be hearing from Gruntilda to taunt us throughout the tower because after 9 worlds, 900 notes, and 100 jiggies, we have come. We're going to come to this note door, and it will bring us through to the next area. And what is beyond this? You only need 765 notes. That's not too bad. You come to the end of this hallway, and there is this spooky room with this giant platform, and this bouncy music, and a picture of Tooty. So, in the next one, now that we've done that long episode with all that crap, in the next one we are finally going to be confronting Gruntilda and possibly saving Tooty from her clutches. If you want to see the possible end of Banjo-Kazooie, then I just hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!